Rani Mukherjee starrer Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway, a film based on an Indian couple who fought the Norway government for the custody of their children, has drawn a sharp response from the country. The Norwegian ambassador to India has called the movie a work of fiction and said that it had factual inaccuracies. Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway follows the story of an Indian immigrant couple whose world comes crashing down when their two children were removed from their care by the Norwegian foster care system due to differences. In fact, due to complaints that they had received as per the Norwegian side. Let's now listen to the mother who has inspired Rani Mukherjee's character in the movie.
I condemn the false statement by the Norwegian ambassador in the papers today. He spoke about my case without even having any decency to ask me. He should take this as an opportunity to sensitize Norwegian care workers about the cultural prejudice. Even 10 years after, I have single-handedly brought up my children so well in full view of the world. When the whole world can see the beautiful bond between my children and me, the Norwegian government continues to spread lies against of me. Till today, they have not apologized for the racism of their care workers. They destroyed my life, my reputation, and traumatized my children. They supported my husband when he was cruel to me, and they call themselves as a feminist country.
Nikhil Advani, the producer of the movie Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway, is now joining us here on the show. Many thanks, Nikhil, for speaking with NDTV. Nikhil, first of all, why did you believe that this movie needed to be made? Was a box office success owing to the emotional aspect of the film a motivation for you, or did you genuinely believe that this story needed to be told?
I mean, if box office was a criteria, we would not be making films like this, right? That doesn't qualify for anything with regards to the ingredients that are needed to make a box office success. It's a hard-hitting story. It's an account of a Bengali immigrant mother whose children were taken away by a country. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So, if you know the kind of films that we make, that the kind of films that I tend to gravitate toward, whether it's Airlift, whether it's Butler House, whether it is Rocket Boys, or whether it is Chatterjee versus Norway, we don't tell the story which is easy to tell, but the good stories. So yeah, the box office was absolutely no criteria. We just hope that people will go and watch the story of Sagrika. That's very important. It's a message that she had to tell. I mean, right now there is a case going on in Germany, which is similar to what is happening with what happened to Sagarika 11 years ago, 10 years ago.
As a producer, Nikhil, did you ask for the story to be well researched, or did you believe that it was justified to take artistic liberty since this was commercial cinema, although you are saying that, of course, you want to make hard-hitting stories?
So we have to take some kind of dramatic liberties, because at the end of the day, we are taking something which has a germ and which has its antecedents in a real life story, and we are going to make it mainstream so that a larger audience can watch it. But do we do research? Of course we do research. Do we try and present a unbiased view? We would try our best. But this particular story is just incredible, right? I mean, their two children are taken away. One is 6 months old, the other is 3 years old, and she fights tooth and nail to get her children back. Why would my question is, why would the late Mrs. Sushma Swaraj agree to help her out? Why would Brinda Karat agree to help her out? Why would the government of India decide to hold the Norwegian Republic accountable and get the children back? It's very silly to think that we haven't done our research. Of course we've done it.
I think this was a case before 2014. This was a 2011 case, so I'm not sure if Sushma Swaraj, it was, I think, Pratibha Patil who had intervened in that case at that matter. She had asked the Ministry of External Affairs to take up this.
It was Sushma Swaraj, it was Brinda Karat. It was Sushma Swaraj, it was Brinda Karat who actually championed and worked in conjunction with Sagarika's parents, who were in India at that time, and they moved S.M. Krishna, who was the external affairs minister at that time, to do. So I'm not saying that Sushma Swaraj or BJP was in power. The Congress was in power.
All right.
Very much the Congress was in power. But she did what she did because...
Okay. Why, Nikhil, I asked you the previous question was because the country whose child welfare system you raised a question about through your film, that country itself and its ambassador today has raised objections to the portrayal. This is, and that is why I asked you the question about whether it was well researched.
Yes, well, we have never claimed to make a documentary. We are telling the story of Sagarika from her point of view. It is her manifesto. It is her book that is going to be released soon. It is her journey. It is her fight. It is her struggle for justice that we have spoken about. When we have right now put out the film, and when the trailer of the film came, we got numerous messages about similar cases and similar stories from other families and other immigrants who have said that we are facing the same similar situation. So yes, we have done our research. Yes, we've done legal things on it, and that's how we put the film.
But you are saying that this is from the lens of the protagonist here, that is the mother, Sagarika in this case.
Absolutely.
But your trailer, right. Nikhil, but I haven't watched the movie. It's released only today, but I've watched the trailers, and the trailer says that this is based on a true story. Then do you think that it would have been only fair on your part to have taken the account of the other side as well? I completely understand how devastating it is for any parent for their child to be taken away. But shouldn't, as a responsible filmmaker, you should also be able to have that sort of a balance if you're claiming that it's based on an actual story?
Yes, so a lot of what you will see in the film, and when you do see the film, is all available in the public domain. We don't actually go out of the way to dramatize something that we know is going to create the kind of controversy that it creates, right? So all the accounts that we have are in the public domain. We interviewed Sagarika extensively. We've discussed with her, but yes, at the end of the day, it was the story of an Indian mother fighting for her children, right? And we haven't pointed actually a single kind of distinct to even Norway. It's about the child services agency within Norway, which we are actually discussing, which is being held accountable in the film.
But they find some of the dialogues there disparaging for their country, especially with regards to them not being able to understand the Indian cultural context, or the fact that their child welfare system is made for profit. They have denied that completely, and also the fact that reports from 2012 also indicate that at that time the child protection system was looking for a Bengali couple to have these children be in their foster care. Well, if they were not sensitive enough to cultural needs, do you think that they would have gone through that process? And I ask you this because as a filmmaker, and you are a responsible filmmaker, you are yourself saying that should both the sides have been taken into account, and if not, then should you have also put out a disclaimer that this is a fictionalized version seen only from the lens of the mother?
We have put out a disclaimer which says that it's a fictionalized version of the film. It comes in the beginning of the film. It's very much there. I'd like to say I'd like to use your platform to say that there is a disclaimer which says that it is a story only from the lens of the mother. It is the struggle of Sagarika. It is her fight for justice. And yes, everything that we have actually put out is very much available in the public domain. Anybody who wants to go and read up about it, it's there very much in the public domain.
Right.
Whether it is about Sagarika's own case or whether it is a case about.
All right. Good to know that a disclaimer has been put out. Nikhil Advani, many thanks for joining us here on NDTV.